Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West. In eastern Nevada, hunger drove man against man and brought death as the Indians continued their race to prevent starvation. Peace could come only with plenty. In August of 1873, two ranchers and an Indian chief set out to help nature provide for all. With a strange cargo, they began their mission to the mountains.
Well, that's as far as my orders take me. Rest is up to you.
We'll manage somehow, Sergeant.
Going into those mountains alone, in Indian country.
Everything in life is a risk. We got a job to do.
Well, I'm glad it isn't me that's got to do it.
I guess you've never been hungry. Well, I've seen people fighting for scraps of food. We've had a famine for years. It's taken a lot of good people, white and red, made animals out of them, killing animals.
Mister, you ain't gonna cure the troubles of a whole world with a couple of barrels of fish.
We don't intend to, Sergeant. Just gonna try to fill a few empty stomachs. Can't do much about empty heads, though.
Those big fools.
The governor seemed to think it was important.
What does he know? Sitting behind a desk getting fat. Let's get out of here.
Long ways up there. Hope we can make it.
Of course we can.
Must reached up. Great Spirit set us on this path.
Those mountains, they seem so cold and unfriendly.
Depends what you want from them. We'll camp here for the night.
Pa, when are we going to stop wandering and settle down?
When we make our strike, that's when. I ain't been looking for a bonanza half my life to quit now.
Yes, Pa. Whatever you say. What is it?
Tracks. People ahead of us and moving in the same direction. They got mules, too.
That doesn't mean they know about the gold.
What else they got mules for? They're packing in mining equipment. You mount up quick.
5 barrels ruined in the past 2 days. Well, we'll just have to keep changing the water. We gotta save some of them.
Chow's ready.
Come. Food make trouble go.
That's not quite as good as his wife makes.
A hungry man, it do.
You know, George, you're gonna make some woman a tremendous cook. Kima, how long do you figure it'll take us to reach the headwaters?
2 days, maybe?
How many left?
Well, it's 7. You know, maybe that sergeant was right.
We must not fail. Too much good for your people and mine.
Well, I hope that great spirit of yours is still listening.
He listens. Fish and vinegar barrel's still good.
Hey, you know he's right. Even though we scrubbed all the barrels clean, there was something in those syrup kegs that killed the fish.
Could be. We haven't lost any vinegar barrels yet.
Say, wonder what would have happened if we'd used whiskey kegs.
Oh, no. Fish and firewater don't mix.
We saw your fire.
Well, I'm sure glad you stopped. I'm Henry Schmidtline. It's my brother George and our guy, Takima.
Howdy.
Didn't know there was anyone else in this part of the country.
Well, I guess we're both kind of surprised. We're headed for the top of the Reese River.
Is that so? Well, glad to know you.
Glad to know you, sir.
Name's Crandall. This here's my daughter, Ellen.
Howdy, ma'am.
Won't you have something to eat? We got plenty left.
Yeah, we might do that. I'll unsaddle the horses.
I'll help, Pa.
I can manage.
Well, we'll help you, sir. Why don't you lead the lady to the banquet?
You come on with me. I'm going to introduce you to some of the finest stew this side of the Mississippi. Can I get you some more to eat?
No, thank you, Mr. Schmidtline.
Well, I can't see as I blame you. Listen, I'd feel a lot better about it if you called me George. I mean, if we're going to be traveling together, it seemed kind of funny you calling me Mr. Schmidtline all the time.
I'll try and remember.
You mean to tell me you're going all the way up the headwaters of the Reese just to plant some barrels of baby trout?
That's right.
Expect a sane man to believe that?
Well, the people need food. The ranchers need clean, fresh water. Trout'll give us both.
Why go all the way up to the top? Dump them in here.
Well, we want them in all the tributaries.
I've heard of crazy schemes, but that one takes the prize.
You've never faced a winter of starvation.
Yes, I have. I've been hungry all my life. That's why I'm looking for the stuff that buys dreams. And in my book, it ain't fish.
Well, those fish over there are worth their weight in gold. They'll bring peace and plenty to this whole area.
I'd rather have the real stuff.
Well, Mr. Crandall, there's some things that even gold can't buy.
I never heard any.
I think it's very noble of you to be doing this.
There's nothing noble about it. Question of survival. About time the ranchers and Indians got together to help each other out on something.
Oh, do you and your brother have a ranch?
We've got almost 1,000 acres. 300 of the most beautiful white-faced steers you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
It is. Lord sure bless this part of the country. But it was a lot of hard work.
It's a home.
Why, you sound like you've never had one before.
I've had one. The mountain and the deserts. Any place Pa got it in his head to scratch for gold.
It's kind of a lonely life for a kid like you.
I'm 18.
You don't look it.
Well, that's because I never had a chance to dress up proper. Every time we got ahead, Pa spent it on another grub stake.
Did he ever find any gold?
Oh, just enough to whet his appetite and keep us on the move. At times it's months before I see another human being.
Ellie, you're still young. You got plenty of time.
I know what I want.
Ellie! What are you doing?
Talking, Pa.
I was just showing her the fish.
Well, you leave her be. She's got work to do. I don't take to her mixing with strangers.
Pa.
Go on, get.
Now, hold on just a moment, Mr. Crandall.
I'm not going to have my daughter getting any crazy ideas.
Well, you know, seems like to me you're just kind of shooting off your mouth over nothing.
Ellie's not going to have her head turned. Not while I'm around to protect her.
Wait a minute. Oh, what's wrong here?
Well, Mr. Crandall here seems to think that I'm taking an overly friendly attitude towards his daughter. Maybe you can talk some sense into his head.
Sorry you feel that way, because George usually doesn't start any trouble.
There won't be any trouble, don't worry. I'll see to that.
George, don't let him get under your skin, huh?
Well, imagine a sweet kid like that having an old buzzard like him for a father. All we were doing was talking.
Well, maybe it was the way you were looking at her, huh?
What's the matter? You crazy too?
Come on, George.
I don't want to stay here, Pa. I can't.
Get the bedrolls.
Please, Pa, not after the way you embarrassed me.
You'll stay and you do what I tell you. You think I'm buying that story about them fish? Not on your life, I ain't.
But it's true.
Why? Because that pretty-faced young fella told you so? They know there's gold at the headwaters, and that's what they're after.
They don't want your gold. Can't you understand that?
They ain't no different from anyone, so I'm taking no chances. We'll stick right with them and see. And I don't want that young fella sniffing around you.
Pa, sometimes I hate you.
Now get the bedrolls.
George, I want to apologize.
Forget it.
George, you don't think I'm much of a woman, do you?
Well, I really hadn't given it much thought.
There, you see?
Look, Ellie, we up here to get those fish in the mountains. I haven't got time to think about anything else.
Would it be any different if we were back on your ranch?
You want me to tell you the truth? It'd take me just about one night to lose my mind over you.
Would you really?
I'd throw a big party and we'd dance till dawn.
I don't even know how to dance.
We'd fix that. You name it. The waltz, Virginia reel, I'd teach them all to you.
And I'd have a new dress. And my hair, it'd be up in ribbons.
Yellow ribbons.
And that's what I'd wear. Yellow.
Of course, I might not get much of a chance to dance with you with all the hands buzzing around you like you're the queen bee or something.
Oh, no. I'd only dance with you.
You better get back before your pa comes up here. Guess they've gone.
Yeah, well, maybe it's better this way.
Sure kind of hate to see her go.
I thought you said she was just a kid.
She is.
Look, if you'd gotten serious about her, Crandall will just give us a lot of trouble. We haven't got time for things like that, huh?
Yeah. Come on, let's get out of here.
Come quick! Still some fish left.
Four was left in the 1K. George, get some water. Why? Why would Crandall want to do this to us? I just don't understand it.
Come on. We still got some traveling to do. You fixing to mope along like this all day?
Oh, Pa, why don't you leave me alone?
Sure. I'll leave you alone. Get in some trouble with that young upstart.
Pa,
Oh, don't pa me. I pulled out of there for your sake. Like, why do you suppose I want the gold just for me?
I don't want it. Can't give me what I want.
That's where you're wrong, gal. You get no respect unless you got money. Now, that's the truth, and don't you forget it.
What am I gonna do? Sit by myself and count it?
You'll be one Crandall folks are gonna respect. I'll see to that.
Thanks, Pa.
Two more dead. Maybe water not good.
How many we got left?
Oh, 30 maybe.
That enough?
They live. They swim without spirit.
Kima, we just can't give up. We just can't. We've got too much at stake. Let's try to reach the headwaters today.
We get good water first.
George, saddle up.
What for?
Well, you got some riding to do.
Yeah, well, I just unsaddled.
Well, saddle her up again.
Fish, fish, fish. Been living and smelling them for days. It's getting so I taste them.
Let's try bringing some water to him, George. George, you are forgetting the horse.
Man in love not happy. Like fish out of water.
Pa, what are you gonna do? Why do we stop here?
Get the other rifle and the rest of the ammunition.
What for?
Don't ask questions.
I want to know what you're gonna do.
Protect my claim, that's what.
You're gonna shoot them down in cold blood.
If I have to.
They're just coming up here to dump some fish in the river.
Huh. They ain't got no fish.
What did you do?
Never you mind what I did. You just take my word for it, they ain't got no fish. And if they come up here now, they are after that gold for sure.
How do you know there is any gold? It's just another one of your hunches.
Get the other rifle and the ammunition.
headwaters over next ridge.
Well, I'm waiting to hear. Let's go.
You gonna sit here all day?
Maybe.
I'm riding back down.
You're going no place.
Please, you're hurting me.
Then do as I say.
I won't stay here and watch you murder 3 innocent men.
Then you do think they're coming.
I don't know what to think. I just know I've had enough of this kind of living.
You've had enough. What about me? I done it all so things will be different for you. There. What did I tell you?
Pa!
Nobody's taking my gold.
Oh, no!
Get back!
Seems a shame Tokima ain't got a headstone for folks to remember him by.
There's no need. People in these parts of Nevada, they won't forget. They'll remember him as long as the water keeps running in streams like that.
Pa spent his life grubbing for gold. And all that got him was a lonely grave. We hardly stayed long enough to call any place home.
Well? You will now, Ellie. Let's go home.
Crandall's dream ended beside the headwaters of the Reese. But for George and Ellen, it was just the beginning. Soon trout filled the streams of eastern Nevada. Birch Creek, Ophir Creek, and as far off as the Roberts Creek country. But they say that fishing is best along the banks of the Tokima. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West. We've all heard of Robin Hood, who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. Somehow, we've managed to revere his memory without necessarily condoning his crimes. Well, getting down to more recent times, there was a man who you might say had something of Robin Hood in his soul. He wasn't especially good with a bow and arrow. As a matter of fact, he wasn't much good at anything. He was a tramp. A tramp with money to burn.
How about here, under this bush?
Yeah, suits me.
Come on, hurry. We gotta get this bush out of here. Yeah, it's gonna be daylight in a couple hours. It's coming. How long before we can come back for the dough? Better wait a month, let it cool off. Toss those lights.
Hold it down there, or I'll shoot.
It's a log. Grab the shovel. What about the dough? It's safe. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on!
You realize this is the 4th train robbery in the past year? The 4th.
We'll find them.
You did, last night. Minutes after they waylaid the train, but they still got away.
Well, they couldn't have gotten to their horses with the money.
They no longer had it when I spotted them.
Do you think they left the money somewhere?
The riverbank. It's thick with undergrowth, a perfect spot for concealment.
Well, then all you have to do is search the area.
When advertise the fact to all the bums and bindle stiffs that inhabit that part of town? Oh, no. Besides, we want the outlaws as well as the money.
Exactly what do you propose, Mr. Hume?
Wait.
Wait?
Sooner or later, they'll have to return to recover that loot. And when they do, my men will be there.
Well, I don't care how you do it, Mr. Hume. Just make sure you get those men and that money.
We will.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You all right?
You're fine, thank you very much.
Lift those hands. Now stand up and turn around. Slowly.
What's this all about?
All right, where is it?
Where's what?
Listen, we don't just happen to be here. Where's that money?
I don't know.
I'll ask you just one more time.
It's gone. Honest.
Gone? Where?
Only me and my partner knew where it was buried. Right here. You'll figure it out.
Well, I guess you and your partner had the same idea. Only he got here first. You ready to talk?
Sure. His name's Browning.
Well, it seems that you and the law will be working on the same side from here on in.
Just so you get that right.
All right, let's go.
Just keep the change, my good fellow. Oh, yes. There we are.
Thank you, sir.
Not at all. Oh, here.
Thank you, sir.
I want a room, please. The very best you have. I like a large, sunny... Make it a suite. Yes, a suite.
Why, yes, sir. If you'll kindly sign the register here, please, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we are putting you in the presidential suite, Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman? Who?
Oh, the presidential suite? Yes, that'll do very nicely.
The presidential suite for Mr. Herman. And I trust you'll enjoy your stay with us, sir.
Oh, I will. I will.
The elevator's right this way, sir.
Thank you.
Carriage, sir?
Pardon me? No. I'm just out for a walk in the fresh air. I always find hotels a little stuffy.
You're from the east, sir?
Yes. Riverside Drive, New York.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Train robber captured. Read all about it. Train robber captured. Journal.
Boy.
$5? Afraid I can't break anything this big, sir.
Oh, that's all right, son. You just keep the change.
Gee. Thanks a lot, sir. That's more than I make in a week. My ma sure can use this.
Oh? Well, in that case, I'll buy a paper every day. Same price.
$5?
There's a newsstand inside, sir, where there are only 2 cents.
I prefer to have my papers delivered personally. Will you see to it that this young man is allowed to come directly to my door?
Yes, sir.
It's room 60, son. I'll see you tomorrow.
Will you put that book down for a minute and listen?
Book? My good friend, this is the scriptures.
Well, that still ain't good manners. Let me see, where was I? Oh, yeah, according to the outlaw's detailed confession, the Overland Express loot was buried in the vicinity of the Sacramento riverbank.
You mean the money might be right here?
Well, that's what it says. I hear tell that Browning fella made off with it.
Light, friend. Have some Java.
Thanks.
You, new around these parts?
Yeah, I just hopped off westbound freight. Is that the train robbery you fellas were talking about?
Yeah. Seems like the loot's buried right around here someplace.
Well, anyone might have found it. There's lots of us bindle stiffs hanging around the riverbank.
Yeah, well, if you had, you wouldn't be sitting here now yapping about it.
That's for sure.
Anyone you know turned up missing lately?
Curly Jones. I ain't seen him around, come to think of it.
Curly died at Tomaine. You know that.
Oh, that's right.
Say, what about Carl? Carl the tramp. Wasn't he seen last month hopping a freight for Frisco?
Carl the tramp? What's he look like?
What difference does it make?
Tell me.
Oh, you're sure worked up about it, mister.
What's that Carl look like?
Well, he's just an old geezer, maybe pushing 70.
70, huh? Mighty spry 70-year-old can hop a freight lugging $50,000.
All right. It ain't my lookout. He's about 50, small, with a mustache, grizzled.
50. Small. San Francisco?
Yeah. He's plumb loco.
He's anything but. How does he know it's $50,000?
Paper didn't say how much.
Thanks for the jabber, friends.
How did you enjoy your dinner, Mr. Herman?
Well, I'm afraid the fodder, the food here is excellent, but it's a little bit rich for my blood.
Too rich, sir?
Well, I'm used to a simple diet, doctor's orders, you know.
Well, now, the chef would be very pleased to mix any special dishes you want, sir.
Yes, I'm sure he would, but, they wouldn't taste like the ones I can make. Cooking is my hobby, you know.
Oh, well, you are a man of parts, Mr. Herman.
Well, thank you, Felix. Thank you very much. Good night, Felix.
Good night. Oh, sir. Your room key.
Oh, yes, I always forget.
Anything else, sir?
Yes. Could you get me some bicarbonate soda?
Well, I'll have it sent right up, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good night, dear.
Good night.
Good night.
Quite a gentleman, isn't he?
Oh, of the old school, Edward. Of the old school.
Just a minute. Oh, good morning.
Good morning. You must be a friend of the chef's.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I am. I never order all this stuff.
You sleep well?
No, that bed is too soft.
Too soft.
Yeah, well, I'm used to more fresh air, you know.
Yeah, well, this'll fix you up. Breakfast fit for a king. Scrambled calf's brains.
Oh, keep them warm.
Oh my. Oh, my.
Oh, no, over the left shoulder. Spilt salt, always over the left shoulder for luck.
That's the one with the rheumatism. You think it'll cure it?
Oh, thing I'll do for rheumatism is rest.
Oh, you sound like the doctor. Rest. Take a vacation.
Well, that's what you ought to do.
Well, that's all right for folks like you, but I'm a working woman with an ailing husband, and I'm just lucky to hang on to my job, which I won't if I stand around here talking to the guests. I'll be back later for the train.
Wait a minute. If the only thing that's keeping you from that vacation is money, I can fix that. Here.
Oh, sir, really, please, I wasn't complaining.
No. Here's $1,000. Will that do it?
I really shouldn't have said anything. $1,000.
Isn't enough?
Oh, too much.
No, now, here, now, you keep that. And you get your husband, and the two of you go off and get a good rest.
Why, Mr. Herman, I never in all my life. Bless you, sir.
Oh, no, don't say a thing like that, ever. I'm just only too glad to help out a little, that's all. You see that the salt over the left shoulder did bring you a little luck, huh?
Time off? A trip? A hotel? Maybe one like this?
Oh, no. Oh, now you take my advice. You go live in the outdoors. Live under the open sky. And wake up in the morning to the smell of bacon and coffee over a wood fire.
No, now, Mr. Herman, my husband and I are just a little old for
Well,
that.
you do what you want to do, but I still say you don't know what you're missing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You're a real gentleman.
Even the sugar's weak. Come in.
Paper, sir.
Oh, fine. Come on in. Just put it down there, John. There you are.
Don't you ever read them, sir?
Well, of course I read them. Certainly. I just like to read them all at once, that's all. Have you had your breakfast yet?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
I guess so, sir.
Oh, now, John, you could eat a little more, couldn't you? Can you help me out with this? Come on.
Gee, thank you, sir.
Come on, sit down there. Dive in. So, you see, I have a soft spot in my heart for orphan asylums. I was raised in one myself.
Oh, a self-made man.
Well, from the ground up, you might say. At any rate, I want to make a contribution to you. Shall we say, $5,000?
Mr. Herman, this is indeed a most generous gift. It'll go a long way in solving our problem.
Good. What do you mean, you need more money?
To prevent the foreclosure, $20,000.
20,000. The banks are closed now. You're going to have to wait till Monday morning. But you've got it.
Oh, Mr. Herman, really, I can't thank you enough, sir.
Well,
I don't know what to say.
Well, don't say anything. Say hello to the orphans for me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.
That's all right.
Well, that's him. Carl the Tramp.
You're sure?
Yeah, I'd know that mug anywheres.
Find him and we've as good as located Browning. He'll be hot on his trail.
Well, if he hasn't already gotten there ahead of us.
Yeah, we've got some fast traveling to do. Thanks.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. $20,000.
Oh, thank you. Now, could I trouble you for a good stout envelope?
Oh, yes.
Oh, fine. Thank you.
That's a lot of cash to be carrying around with you, Mr. Herman.
Well, I'm only going as far as the hotel.
Whenever you want to reopen your account with us, we'll be most happy to serve you.
Well, I'll let you know. Thank you for your courtesy.
Allow me.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Your key, sir?
Oh, thank you, Felix. Could you get me a messenger? I have some important papers here that I'd like delivered by hand.
Why, right away, sir.
Yeah, but a responsible messenger.
All ours are bonded, sir.
Oh, good. You must be in the wrong room.
You Carl Herman?
Yes?
It's the right room, all right.
I beg your pardon?
You're gonna beg for more than that before I get through with you. Tramp.
Tramp?
Sound familiar?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've been living mighty high and handsome, ain't you? Well, the law's been after me.
Browning?
That's right, friend. I'm the one who stashed that money down by the riverbank. And I want it now.
I'm sorry. It's gone.
You couldn't have spent $50,000 in this short a time. Where is it?
I haven't got it.
You're lying.
No.
Where is it?
No, I gave it away. I gave it away.
You want me to beat it out of you, tramp? Because that's what I'll do if I have to break every bone in your body.
I'm telling you the truth. I haven't got it.
Rather die.
It won't do you any good to kill me.
At least I'll know that you're not alive to enjoy the money either.
What? Oh, no.
Come in!
I can't, Mr. Harmon. It's locked.
Let you open that door. But you take one step out that door and it'll be your last step.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Deliver to this address immediately.
Also,
Oh, no, sir. Everything's quite all right. Quite all right.
I'll give you a receipt, sir.
In matter of fact, I've enjoyed my stay in your hotel, and I shall recommend it highly to all my friends. It was the manager. He just wanted to know if I needed anything.
Never mind that. Now for the last time, tramp. Where's the money?
It's gone, and that's the God's truth.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
We're looking for Mr. Carl Herman. Is he registered here?
Oh, yes, he certainly is.
What room?
60.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Open up. Hold it! You're under arrest, Browning. For train robbery and murder. Get him out of here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Are you all right, Carl?
Oh, sure, I'm fine, thank you. I didn't think the law would be very far behind Browning.
Well, we almost were. I'm afraid I'll have to place you under arrest, too. Taking money that didn't belong to you. Unless you can make restitution, give it back.
It's all gone. I tried to tell Browning that.
The whole 50,000?
At last.
What did you do with it?
Well, the rest of it I gave away, where I know it'll do the most good. Honestly, I haven't got a... Well, except for this $5 gold piece, I haven't got a cent to my name.
Come on.
Your paper, sir.
Oh, hello, son. Well, there you are. Oh, this, I just had a little accident, that's all. John, don't bother to deliver a paper to me tomorrow because I'm checking out as of now.
Gee, I'll sure miss you, sir. Thanks for everything.
Goodbye, Johnny. Shall we go?
Even at his trial in Sacramento, Carl didn't reveal how he disposed of the money. He was convicted and sentenced to 3 years in Folsom Penitentiary. But he didn't mind, really. He'd had his fling, made a number of folks happy, and could look forward to returning one day to the riverbank, the same as he left it, a tramp. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. The story I'm about to tell you is laid in Death Valley shortly after the turn of the century. It has to do with a mystery that had a whole mining camp by the ears. The mystery of Mr. Bigfoot. This obviously is not Mr. Bigfoot. This is Stubby Weeks, 5'5" in his high-heeled boots, company clerk at the Anniversary Mine, waiting to check the crew that's just coming off shift.
Come on now, before you open up the window. Red?
Always good with us.
That's right.
Hello.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Stubby.
Brenda, you in a hurry? I got something I want to show you.
What is it?
Oh, another piece of rock.
Obsidian. This is what the Aborigines used for the tips of their spears.
No.
They did. They speared fish with them.
In Death Valley? Oh, I'm sorry, Stubby. I didn't mean to make fun of you.
I thought you would be interested.
I am interested. Haven't I helped you with your rock collection? Didn't I find that specimen of jasper for you?
How would you like to go out again on Sunday?
Oh, well, that's the day of the company picnic.
I know. We could explore after lunch.
Oh, I don't think Dutch would like that.
Dutch?
Dutch Hogan. He's taking me.
Gee, I was counting on it.
We can at least watch the games together. Dutch will be taking part in everything.
And what makes you think I'll be sitting on the sidelines?
Stubby, that's the spirit. Bye.
I'm lining up a tug-of-war team. A team that can pull anything on the desert off their feet. I'll pull a 20-mule team. Red, your pick.
Boy, Red.
You, Hippo, will put your 300 pounds at the end of the rope. 310. Plug Thompson, you got plenty of brawn. Roy, you step out. Tex, Mike, Slim, Wade. Come on, Sandy, and Hefty. We're going to have to be good. We're up against a tough team.
You need a timekeeper?
Hippo, you be sure I need a big supper tonight. Slim, you fill those pockets full of sand,
Come on, Stubby.
Get aboard, Stubby.
I'm not going.
What do you mean you're not going?
Isn't it beautiful? I made it myself.
Chocolates.
3 layers.
You know chocolate makes me break out.
Well, you don't have to eat it. I made it for Dutch. It's his favorite.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Stubby, don't be so small.
I can't help it.
I mean in your attitude.
I happen to care a lot for you, Mary.
Well, then come on over and join in the fun. Don't stand here sulking.
I'm not sulking.
They're getting ready for the drilling contest.
I'm not a driller.
Well, you could come and cheer.
I'm going to go hunt rocks.
Oh, you've got rocks in your head.
Hello, Dobie.
Hiya, Stubby. What you doing, hunting rocks?
Yeah.
We're hunting bones. This here is Professor Muchmore, professor of ants that apologize.
Anthropology, Western University.
My friend Stubby Weeks.
Glad to meet you, sir.
Hello. This has been the greatest day of my life. Let me show you what I found.
Looks like a huge elephant tusk.
The ancestor to the elephant, a mastodon. A prehistoric animal that roamed this region during the Pleistocene age.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Where'd you find it?
Over in Shoshone, in some volcanic ash where they were mining. I found some teeth, too.
What do they look like?
You really interested?
Oh, Stubby's a connector, too.
Just mineral specimens.
Oh, he knows Death Valley like a hog knows a hog water.
Ever come across any bones?
Nothing like that. But I could take you to some of the canyons I know.
Well, I'm planning to camp here for several weeks.
Good. Then someday when I have time off.
Come anytime. Be glad to see you.
Thank you, Professor.
Sure, Stubby. Come anytime.
Dobie, match.
Yes, sir.
Barry! What do you think? I met a professor of anthropology.
You missed the game.
He showed me the tusk of a mastodon.
Dutch won all the events.
And our tug-of-war team pulled the others clean off their feet.
It was this long, millions of years old.
What are you talking about?
A fossil.
A fossil?
While you were off looking at dead bones, Dutch was giving a demonstration of live muscle.
The professor has invited me to come and see him again.
All right, let it go!
Gosh, that mastodon tusk is really something.
It certainly is.
I hope I'm not making a nuisance of myself coming to see you so often.
Oh, not at all. It's a pleasure to meet someone who's interested.
What kind of a bone is this?
Oh, that's just a mold I made. The original crumbled when we lifted it from the ground.
No wonder. Must be 1,000,000 years old.
2 million, perhaps.
Gosh, was Death Valley here then?
Death Valley was created some 11, 12 million years ago.
Created how?
By cataclysmic forces almost beyond the grasp of the human mind. Imagine, if you can, volcanoes all through this region blowing their tops, pouring down sheets of molten lava, earthquakes rending and twisting the earth's crust, whole mountain ranges raised, a vast sink dropped down between them, Death Valley. Then floods pouring in, forming a great inland sea hundreds of feet deep. Gradually, the waters evaporated and left a salt desert. That was about 2 million years ago. You can still see the shoreline of that ancient lake along the slopes of the Panamints.
When did man first come here?
Well, scientists disagree. We found fossils of animals, but no trace of prehistoric man. Unless you count Bigfoot.
Who's Bigfoot?
He wasn't prehistoric. He appeared, well, his tracks at least, over in Owens Valley, west of here, back in the 1860s. I have a diagram I drew from the descriptions given me. The feet measured 18 inches long, 6 inches wide across the toes. His stride was almost 7 feet, and that was walking, not running.
Man, he must have been a giant.
Nobody knows.
They never saw him?
The tracks appeared in several places from time to time. Watch was kept. But Bigfoot, as the Indians called him, never showed himself. It's a mystery to this day.
18 inches long. Well, that's half again as large as Dutch Hogan's foot.
Who's Dutch Hogan?
He's the biggest man in camp, and the strongest. He won all the contests at the company picnic last Sunday. All the girls are crazy about him.
All the girls?
The only one that matters.
And what's her name?
Miranda. They call her Mary for short, and it just suits her. She's the prettiest, the gayest. We used to have a lot of fun together.
Till Dutch Hogan came along?
Yeah, 6'2", strong as an ox.
Brawn isn't everything, young man. Brains count.
She doesn't think I'm very smart.
You're quite fond of her, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd do anything for her. I just wish I could prove it.
One time in a weightlifting contest in Rhyolite, I picked up 75 pounds in one hand and held it out at arm's length for 16 seconds.
Somebody's coming.
Mary?
Oh, Stubby.
Oh, I hoped I'd find you home.
Hiya, Shrimp.
Oh, you've got company.
Oh, that's all right. Don't go. Come on up and sit down. Where have you been all day?
Chasing butterflies.
I went over to see the professor again. I sure wish you could have been there, Mary.
She was enjoying herself here.
He told me about a man over in Owens Valley who would make you look like a peanut.
What?
A man with feet 18 inches long. A stride as wide as his porch. A regular giant of a fella.
Oh, who is he?
That's the mystery. No one ever saw him.
I didn't think so.
But they saw his tracks and measured him.
The professor did?
Oh, no, this happened about 50 years ago.
And the story's been growing ever since.
It's true. The professor's got pictures.
Photographs?
Well, no, diagrams.
Sounds fantastic. A giant roaming the desert.
Ah, it's baloney. The only way I'd ever believe it would be to see the footprints myself. I tell you, it was a human foot. 5 toes, and that long.
You're stewed, Dutch.
It was the middle of the day. I was coming up from the ranch.
What kind of booze they give you there?
Go sleep it off, fella.
I believe you. See what you done, Dutch?
scare the tar out of poor little Stubby.
Would have made your skin crawl, I'll bet you, to see those giant footprints.
I've got a ruler.
What for?
To measure them with.
He's calling you bluff, Dutch.
Oh, no. I just want to prove it to myself. Come on.
I'm not going all the way back there.
Why not?
I just been.
You see, he was lying.
I was not.
Come on, we'll all go with you and see.
They were the exact measurements of Bigfoot's tracks.
Well, of course, I, for one, have always taken the story of Bigfoot with a grain of salt.
But you've talked to men who have seen the tracks and measured them.
I'm a scientist, Stubby.
Those tracks at the water tank are real enough. We all saw them. I mean, they were. The boys tromped them up pretty bad. They got so excited.
What I'd do if I were you is to keep a night watch at the water tank.
Night?
Bigfoot would never show himself during the day.
All right.
Get your friend Dutch to go with you. Two are better than one when it comes to dealing with the unknown. And let me know how you make out.
All right.
Look, we saw those big footprints, didn't we?
Sure, but I still don't believe in no giant being on the loose around here.
I read in a book once that a giant was 20 foot tall. He could pick up a horse and carry it away with him.
Dutch! That was all around the old glory hole. You know the one just as you come up from Furnace Creek Wash?
What was all around?
Those big footprints. You could see them plain, all around in the mud.
Gracious, maybe the glory hole's his hideout.
Yeah, maybe it is, Red.
Maybe it's a good place to hide out.
How big were the footprints?
Well, I didn't stop to measure them. All I wanted to do was get the heck away from there. But they was huge, a good 2 feet long at least.
Yeah, see what I told you? I guess you think there's not a giant around here now. Gotta be something.
Hippo was doing assessment work down near that old glory hole when he saw them. Fresh footprints, at least 2.5 feet long and a foot wide.
Oh, Mrs. Tim, how awful.
I can just see this giant, 30 feet tall, stalking around with a great club in his hand, dressed in the skin of wild beasts.
I'm really frightened, Dutch.
Don't worry, honey. I'm here to protect you.
The tracks have been seen in 3 places now, each time closer to camp.
Is Dutch Hogan here?
How did you guess?
You're the man I want to see. I just been talking with the professor. He says the thing for us to do is to keep watch at the water tank tonight.
Tonight?
That's when Bigfoot's most likely to turn up.
And if he should, what would you do?
We'd get a good look at him.
Where do you get this wee stuff?
You're the biggest man in camp.
Yeah, but not the biggest fool.
You mean you won't go?
You're darn tootin' I won't.
Then I'll go alone.
No, Stubby, no, it's too dangerous. He could kill you with his bare hands. Stubby! Stubby! Why didn't you go with him?
Lose a good night's sleep for nothing?
It couldn't be that you're afraid.
Afraid of what?
Something bigger than yourself.
Oh, Mary.
Oh!
Darn Chuckawalla.
Hey, Stubby. What happened at the water tank last night?
Nothing.
No sign of Bigfoot?
I told you so. Just a waste of a night's sleep.
Then how do you account for all those footprints?
That's what's got me.
Those were live tracks. There's some strange human at large in Death Valley.
What's the matter with Joe? He's driving like the devil was after him. Come on, let's see.
And there he was, tore limb from limb. Boy, I never seen anything like it.
Never saw anything like what?
The carcass of a mountain sheep I saw on the road coming up here. Boy, whatever attacked that thing sure must have been fierce.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot sure must be a powerful guy. Sure gave me a start. Boy, I never seen anything like it. Long at least.
The carcass of a sheep, eh?
Yeah, the stage driver said it was sure pulled apart.
Probably a mountain lion killed him.
Well, mountain lions stay well up in the mountains. I've never known one of them to come down here.
You and Dutch Hogan heard nothing at the water tank last night?
I was there alone.
You mean he didn't go with you?
No.
Why?
He said he was no fool.
Now that the creature's tasted blood, there's no telling.
Mrs. Tim, don't say that.
I declare I was most afraid to walk over here alone this afternoon.
I'm scared, too. The only person who gives me any courage is Stubby.
Stubby? I thought it was you and Dutch.
Oh, Dutch is just a big blowhard. Why, Stubby's got more courage in his little finger than Dutch has in that whole great hulk of his.
Well, so now it's you and Stubby.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
I've got such an awful feeling that something's going to happen to one of us. Bigfoot.
Where?
In my yard. I went out to hang up some clothes and there were his footsteps by the back porch.
This settles it. That fella's got to be tracked down before somebody's murdered in their bed. I'll get the professor to help.
Oh, Stubby, don't leave me. Take me with you.
Don't be scared.
I'm not. When I'm with you, I feel perfectly safe. Isn't that funny?
I don't know why it's funny. I'd protect you with the last ounce of strength in my body. My last breath.
I'm sure you would.
As long as we both live. Will you let me, Mary?
Stubby, are you proposing to me? Oh, what a time to pick. When I've got him on my mind.
Dutch?
Oh, no, I'm all through with that big coward.
Then who?
Bigfoot.
Oh, sure. I almost forgot about Bigfoot. You wait here, and I'll go get the boss's rig, and we'll go see the professor. Can you imagine the shock to see those footprints right on our own doorstep?
You screamed, I suppose, and roused all the neighbors?
No, I just made a beeline straight for Stubby.
I know, sir, that as a scientist, you haven't taken too much stock in Bigfoot. But the time has come and we've got to take action. I'm not going to sit by when my future wife's safety is threatened.
Stubby.
I didn't mean to tell. It just came out.
Well, I knew it the minute I saw you two together. You're going to be married.
Might as well admit it.
Well, while we're admitting things, I too have a confession to make. I am Mr. Bigfoot.
You?
Paper mache. I'm an expert at making molds.
But why? What's the idea?
A practical joke.
No, I was conducting a scientific experiment to prove that a man's courage is often in inverse ratio to his size. And it worked. Bless you.
Thank you, Professor.
Gosh, I don't know what to say. You know, I never knew Cupid had such big feet.
And that was the last time the giant tracks were ever seen in Death Valley. Did the others find out? If you were Stubby, would you have told? And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. I'm sure you've heard of Lady Godiva, who, according to legend, rode naked through the streets of Coventry. The hero of our story tonight is a man, a young newspaper reporter by the name of Sam Swift. And the streets are those of a western city in the early 1900s. But you'll soon see why Sam became known as Mr. Godiva.
Sam.
Marjorie, darling.
No, Sam, you shouldn't. You haven't received Father's permission yet.
Sweetheart, all I need is your permission.
No, Sam, it's not proper.
All right, I'll see your father. State my intentions.
Marjorie! In here, Father. Here's your chance. There's no time like the present.
Hello, baby. I brought... Oh, hello, Swift.
Good afternoon, sir.
You gentlemen know each other? Mr. Norman Cates of the Sierra National Bank. Sam Swift.
Of the Daily Bulletin.
How do you do?
Oh, Norman, did you drive Father home in your new Pierce Arrow?
Why, yes, I did.
I'd love to see it. Will you show it to me?
I'd be delighted.
Excuse us. Oh, Father, Sam has something to ask you. Come on, Norman.
I guess you know what I'm going to say, Mr. Delafield.
I do.
I hope I have your permission, sir.
You don't.
I don't.
Until I'm clear on a few points. What are your prospects, Swift?
Of persuading her? Good.
Of supporting her?
Oh, well, I'll do my best, sir.
Let's see. The newspaper reporter, you make $25 a week, isn't it?
30, sir.
That table you're sitting on costs 20 times as much. Furnishings in this room alone represent many thousands of dollars, and there are 19 other rooms in the house.
Well, surely, sir. You don't expect a young son-in-law to provide a setup like this.
No, but I'd want the assurance that he could someday. Well, a fellow like Norman Cates has prospects. He's heading for the presidency of his bank.
Well, if it's money you want, I'll make it, plenty of it.
That isn't as easy as it sounds.
I don't agree, sir. Money's one of the easiest things in the world to come by. You started with nothing. You were a hard rock miner in Virginia City. I know your whole story. It's on file in the morgue over at the Bulletin.
And apparently you're not impressed.
On the contrary. Just bears out my belief that in this country of ours, all a man needs is a little imagination, some enterprise, and he can become rich, practically overnight.
It has taken me my entire life to accumulate a fortune. You have no idea,
Mr.
my
Delafield,
boy.
I'll bet you that I can start out tomorrow with absolutely nothing. Not a penny to my name, not a stitch on my back.
Naked?
Naked. And in 3 days...
You'd be arrested in 3 minutes for indecent exposure.
Let me finish. In 3 days, I can earn enough by my own honest efforts to wear an Antonio suit like yours. Eat in the finest restaurant in town. Drive a Winton automobile and $1,000 in the bank.
Say that again. $1,000 in the bank. A Winton automobile.
Custom clothes by Antonio. Meals in the finest restaurant in town.
In the space of 3 days, young fella, you've got yourself a bet.
And if I succeed?
You can marry all the daughters I've got.
I'll settle for Marjorie. Thank you, Mr. Delafield. I knew you were a gambler. You'd never gotten as far as you did if you weren't.
When are you going to start Horatio Alger?
Tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock. Palace Hotel, room 202.
I'll have a committee on hand to see that you abide by the rules.
Your privilege, sir.
One other stipulation.
Yes?
Marjorie is to know nothing of this wager.
Agreed. Good day, sir.
Sam, you're off your trolley.
Maybe.
But what do you want to do it for?
My business. Your business is news, and I'm giving you a story.
If you've got the nerve to go through with it.
Then I can have the next 3 days off then, Chief? Thanks.
You mean you're really going to appear in public like a newly hatched egg?
You be at the front door of the Palace Hotel tomorrow morning at 9:30 with your camera, and you'll see. Come in.
Mr. Swift?
Mr. Delafield's committee. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Allow me to introduce Judge Downey.
How to do, sir?
Dr. Wright here.
Dr. Ryder.
How do you know?
My name is Bascom. I'm the manager of this hotel.
How do you do? Well, gentlemen, I think you're 5 minutes early, or else my watch is slow. Oh, Mr. Bascom.
Yeah?
You'd be kind enough to do me the favor of keeping this in the hotel safe?
Yes.
And my wallet? There's $3 there. Now, you gentlemen all know the conditions of the agreement?
We do.
Well, I may as well get started. This won't take long. How's the weather outside?
Thermometer read 52 this morning.
Any people on the street?
Not too many.
There will be. Well, gentlemen, I'm ready for the inspection, and you will have your admission fee ready.
Admission?
Certainly. You don't think you're going to see me for nothing, do you? Cost each of you 4 bets.
50 cents.
Mr. Delafield never mentioned this.
No.
An oversight on his part.
Well, we can't inspect him without looking.
And we can't look without paying.
So, I guess we may as well pay.
There you are, sir.
Thank you.
Thank mine.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen. How about it, Doc?
Naked as the day you were born.
Judge?
Verdict? Naked.
Mr. Bascom?
September Morn himself.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll be with you in a second. Well, I'm on my way.
Hey, you're not naked.
Well, I was. You testified to that.
That's right. He did start out naked.
You are stealing one of our towels.
I am renting this towel from the hotel, sir, for 25 cents. Money which I honestly earned. Another stipulation of my agreement with Mr. Delafield. Well, pardon me. Good day, gentlemen. Oh, good morning.
Sam! Hold it!
That should be a beaut. Now, would you care to make a statement for the press?
Yeah, a note for the fashion editor. Skin is being worn with goose pimples this season.
Yes. Anything else?
Yeah. You may quote me as saying that now I know how Lady Godiva felt when she took her famous ride. See you, Ernie. Oh, good morning.
Well, my friend, looks like you came into the right place.
Yeah, just in time, too.
Somebody steal your clothes?
No, I gave them away.
Oh, now you want a nice new outfit, huh?
That's right. What have you got for $1.25?
$1.25? That's a joke. Why, that wouldn't even buy you a necktie.
That's all I've got to spend.
Well, then, my friend, you came to the wrong place. This is high-class tailor shop.
Well, if you have no suit within my price range, I'll have to make my own.
You get out of here before I lose my temper.
Just a minute, Mr.
Tu sei pazzo, figlio mio. You get out.
Antonio, you believe in advertising.
You get out or I'll call the police.
How would you like to have 5,000 people outside your store today? Have your name, a picture of your shop on the front page of every newspaper in the city? Everybody talking about Antonio Suits. $1 million worth of publicity for free.
For free?
Uh-huh.
How do I get it?
Well, loan me some scissors. Sell me 6 yards of brown wrapping paper, some needles and thread, and a few buttons for $1.25, and you'll see.
$1 million worth to advertise?
That's
for
right.
Free?
Uh-huh.
I'll do it.
Sam Swift, as he emerged from the Palace Hotel this morning to brave the asphalt streets, chilly weather, city cops, and the hazards of traffic.
How perfectly disgusting. The man must be demented. No one in his right mind would do a thing like that, would they, Marcus?
Well, it's a bit unusual.
He must have amnesia or something.
You know these newspaper men, anything for publicity.
But why? What could he possibly gain by it?
Well, why do men sit on flagpoles or jump out of balloons?
Well, I never could understand.
Where is he now?
At the hour of going to press, Mr. Swift was sitting in the window of Antonio's tailor shop, cutting out paper dowels.
How's this for a suit made out of paper? What do you think, huh?
I still think you are crazy, but I love you like my own brother. Look at that crowd out there. I never had such publicity in all my life. Never. Just for that, Mr. Swift, I'm going to make you suit myself. The best suit in the house. Real goods.
Well, I still haven't got a cent to my name, Mr. Antonio.
That's for free, no charge.
That's what I've been waiting to hear. I'll be in for it tomorrow.
I'll be ready for you.
Good. Oh, take care of my towel for me, will you?
Sure. What are you going to do now?
Sally forth and find some way to make $1,000.
Be careful, that crowd don't start to grabbing souvenirs for your paper suit.
Souvenirs! Oh! Thank you, brother.
For what?
For giving me an idea.
Faccio sia pazzisco o so pazzisco, però la mi viene.
Front page, Ernie? Did you? Take a look at this. What, you want me to autograph this paper as a souvenir of the occasion? Why, certainly, sir. Happy to do it. There you are, sir. I don't want your order. $1. Oh, no, sir. Happy to do it for only a quarter. And hand it over. Oh, one at a time, folks. Okay. Don't push. Have your quarters ready. Here, Ernie, you be cashier. Put the quarter in the hat. That's right. Thank you.
Sam, you really cleaned up.
Mr. Swift de la Grande, you're a financial genius.
Well, now, Sam, you're not going to carry all this money around with you, are you?
No, I'm going to put it in the bank. I know exactly the right one, the Sierra National. I take it to Mr. Norman Cates, assistant manager in charge of new accounts.
He made me the laughingstock of the entire bank, standing there barefooted and with that ridiculous paper suit. I shall never live it down.
$767.50 in the space of a couple of hours.
Just goes to prove what fools people can be, to pay whatever he asked.
25 cents.
How do you know?
Well, I just happened to be in the neighborhood and I got caught in the crowd.
Don't tell me you bought his autograph, Eliza.
Well, I don't think it's funny. I don't think any of it's funny.
The boy's a financial wizard.
He's a cheap exhibitionist. If you pardon me, sir.
I agree with Mr. Cates. To think that he's been in this house, in this very room,
Why, yes.
calling upon Marjorie.
Well, whoever put him up to this ought to be ashamed of himself.
His editor, most likely, to boost sales.
Father, call the bulletin up and tell them just what you think of them.
That it's yellow journalism.
You bought a paper yourself, my dear.
Well, where is Sam now? Does anybody know?
Hi, Chief.
What's the latest?
He's in the park, cooking himself some supper. Says he's going to spend the night there, on a bench.
After making all that money selling autographs?
Says he's got to save that for something else.
Has he given you any idea as to why he's doing all this?
So he closes up like a clam whenever I ask him.
Well, he's still front page copy. Did you get any more pictures?
Nope, he's put his foot down.
What?
Says from now on, anybody who photographs him has to pay $100 a shot.
Well, pay him. I said pay him. Man alive, it's worth $500. Get that camera and get back there.
Okay, Chief. Hold it.
Here you are. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Thank you. Every little bit helps. Need any more pictures? Look me up. Yes, I'll call it a day.
Mrs. Smith. I am Pierre de Chinon, a friend of Monsieur Antonio.
Oh, yes. How do you do?
I own Maxime's restaurant on Front Street. You know the place?
Sure, everybody does. The finest restaurant in town. Those that can afford it.
Monsieur Swift, I would be most happy if you would be the guest of Maxime's.
Well, thank you, but I've already had my supper, beans and bacon.
Tomorrow, then, and the next day, and the day after that. Monsieur Swift, you shall have carte blanche at Maxime's any time you wish.
I won't have to eat in the window.
No, Monsieur Swift. I shall give you the best table, and I shall tell everybody Maxime's is where Sam Swift, the nature man, eats. They will fight for reservations. They will want their menus autographed.
No more autographs.
You will come then without autograph?
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Thank you, Mr. Swift. And now I go to tell my chef to create a new dish named for you.
Make it spare ribs, a la Godiva.
Now, Sam, what is all this about? Come on, break down. What's the reason behind all this?
Well, I told you. I'm trying to prove that America is the land of opportunity.
All right, but what's your reason?
Ernie, do you ever sleep under newspapers? Quite an art to it. Let me show you. Observe. Sports section, I wrap around my feet. Want ads? Around my knees. Society section, around my hips. Cooking hints, over the stomach. Advice to the lovelorn, over the heart. And so, my dear friends, I bid you one and all a fond good night.
Sam!
Marjorie!
I'm not where you were. I asked a policeman.
What, do you think it's proper to visit a man in his bedroom?
Sam, this joke has gone far enough. Nobody has a right to exploit you like this.
I'm not being exploited.
You're coming back with me right now.
Back where?
Why, to our house.
where you can have a good hot bath and some dinner. Father will...
So your father sent you?
Well, no,
You tell your father from me I'm not calling my dogs off, understand? I've come this far in this thing, I'm seeing it through.
Sam, dear.
And don't you try to tempt me.
Sam, listen to me, please. Norman's waiting right over there with his automobile. He'll drive you.
Norman, now I know it's a plot to put me out of the running. I'm not budging.
You are an exhibitionist of the most vulgar sort. You just want to make the headlines, bask in the limelight. Well, I think it's disgusting. Brave to death out here. Get yourself arrested. I don't care. I hope I never see or hear of you again. You eccentric.
Marjorie!
Norman, I said that I couldn't give you an answer, but my mind's made up. I will marry you.
Oh, Marjorie.
Now, I'd like to look at some hats.
Oh, we have a complete selection. All kinds. Derbies, fedoras.
I don't like those. Let's try the skimmer and see how it looks.
No, Mr. Swift. This way.
Aha.
Huh?
Hey, Sam, there's a fella outside with an automobile for you.
An automobile?
Ernie, what do you think of this hat?
It's a Winton.
I know.
You bought a Wyndham?
Oh, no, I can't afford an expensive car like that.
Someday you will.
Let's hope. Meanwhile, the company, at my suggestion, is giving me the use of one of their new models in return for my endorsement.
Mr. Swift, you're killing me. Yesterday you ducked in here just ahead of the police wearing a towel. And today you drive away in a Wyndham and wearing an Antonio suit.
Tony, all it takes is a little imagination and some enterprise.
And plenty of nerve.
That helps, too.
Oh, Marjorie, this is wonderful. I'll give a big tea to announce it, and I think a June wedding would be lovely.
Father, you haven't said a word yet.
Oh, well, this is all so sudden, it's kind of taken my breath away.
Oh, if you knew what a comfort this was, Norman. I may call you Norman, mayn't I?
Why, certainly, Mother.
To know that our little girl is going to be in such good hands.
It's Sam.
I won't see him. I'll tell the butler to refuse him. We're not at home.
No, I've got to see him.
Then you can see him alone.
Yes, I do not care to have any further words with him. Come, dear.
Now, look, you can't leave me to face him all by myself.
Why?
Well, it wouldn't be good manners for you all to walk out.
I hardly think Mr. Swift will be concerned with manners.
But you don't understand.
Hello, everybody. Well, I made it, Mr. Delafield, and faster than I thought I would, too. 30 hours instead of 3 days.
You have clothes on.
A genuine Antonio. And $1,000 in the bank, and a Winton at the curb.
A Winton?
Yes. I prefer it to the Pierce Herald. The manager at Maxime's is reserving a table for two for me this evening. Will you give me the pleasure of your company, Miss Delafield?
Sam,
My fiancée and I are dining together this evening.
Fiancée?
It's true.
And we're all very happy about it.
I'm sorry, Sam. I had no idea she'd get engaged to anyone else so soon.
Father, what are you talking about?
Sam and I made a bet.
And you lost?
Yes, I lost. I lost to son-in-law who's one of the greatest go-getters this country has ever seen. A man I could take into my company, trained to succeed me.
Marcus, will you please stop raving and explain?
Sam bet me that he could start with nothing, but nothing, and end up in 3 days like this.
And the stakes?
Permission to court you.
Marcus, how could you? So that was the reason. Sam, why didn't you tell me?
It's part of the bargain. Well, my congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
I hope you'll be very happy.
Sam, wait!
Let him go, Marjorie.
Let him go? Why would you have done what he did? Go through what he has just to win me? You know you wouldn't. You wouldn't even appear on the street without a necktie. Sam!
he is now. He's cranking up the automobile.
Maybe she will catch up to him.
Come on, Margie. Hurry up or he'll get away.
Sam, I wanted to explain.
Nothing to say, Margie.
But you don't understand.
I'd rather not hear it. They're arguing. Oh, now she's climbing in beside him.
Good.
She's throwing her arms around him.
In public.
That's my girl.
They're kissing.
Good going, Mr. Godiva.
There, Mother.
Don't mother me.
And the moral of this story is, if you want a thing badly enough in a country like ours, there's generally some way of getting it honestly. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. Up in the high Sierras, so near the state boundary that for a long time nobody knew whether it lay in Nevada or California, is the old mining camp of Aurora. In Nevada. Now, you may think they had their history as well as their geography confused when I tell you that this story is about Nevada's Plymouth Rock. This is the main street of Aurora in the year 1863.
A bullet went right through it. It's a miracle he wasn't killed.
Well, I guess I shouldn't have let him go on that errand alone, but, well, he begged so hard.
It would have happened even if one of us had been along. The point is, he shouldn't be here at all. Oh, this is no place to bring up a child, John. A wild, lawless camp.
Oh, Aurora's pretty decent.
Gunfights, street brawls.
I've seen drunks on the streets of Boston. What about that runaway in your hometown of Plymouth? He killed 2 people.
I'm not just talking about physical dangers. It's the whole rawness of the life out here.
Give us time, dear. This is new country.
So new they've only just found out which state Aurora's in. Can you imagine back home not knowing whether you lived in Massachusetts or Maine?
Maine used to be a part of Massachusetts, if I remember my history correctly.
Oh, John, I'm serious. It's all right for you to settle here. You're a man. What kind of a future does it offer for our child?
Make a man out of him, too.
Oh, John.
The boy's got to learn, Abby.
He needs standards to live up to, a background.
He's got us.
He needs community standards. You just don't seem to understand, John.
No, I don't. For a camp that's only 3 years old, I think Aurora's done mighty well.
Producing ore.
Yes, and believe me, I'm out to get my share of it.
Well, money isn't everything.
No, but it helps. Helps relieve suffering, win wars. Yeah. See here what Major Sherman's doing? He's staging an auction tomorrow to raise money for the National Sanitary Commission. That's the organization that takes care of the sick and wounded in the war, no matter which side they're fighting on.
Yes, I know.
For the publisher of a rabid unionist newspaper like the Star, I think that's pretty wonderful. Shows what kind of a man he is.
What are they auctioning off?
Specimen of ore, donated by the Wide West Mining Company. It's a beauty. It's on exhibit over at the Hickey Saloon.
A saloon. It would be.
Well, sure. Want as many folks as possible to see it. Draw a big crowd to the auction.
What's an auction?
Chip, what are you doing up at this hour?
I want to go to the auction.
Auction's not till tomorrow, son.
You get straight back to bed now before you catch your death of cold.
Can I go tomorrow, can I, Mama?
It's nothing you'd be interested in, dear. Auctions aren't for little boys.
What is an auction?
You get to bed now.
I want to see the auction.
Well, they got it up here. Hi, boys. Pretty good for rich. What do you want, Sonny?
Let's see the auction.
It ain't started. Here, I'll pick you up. I'll show you. Whoa, what have we got there? What do you got there, Fly? I got a kid for sale.
I ain't for sale.
Yes, you are. We're going to auction you off. Who'll start the bidding? I'll bid 2 bids. He's all yours. I'll make it 4 bids.
It's Chip. They're mauling him. Stop it this minute. Put him down. How dare you?
We're just having a little fun, ma'am.
Fun. Maltreating a small boy.
You ain't hurt, are you, Sonny?
Of course not.
Scaring him half to death. Mama's here, darling.
I wasn't scared one bit.
I could hear you screaming for help. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
No, they meant no harm, dear.
They was auctioning me off, Mama.
It was just a joke, Abby.
I fail to see the humor. You want your kid to be a sissy. It's plain you're not a mother. Come on, dear, we're going home.
Can't I stay, please, Mama? I want to stay.
You've had enough, and so have I.
Well, good morning.
Hello, Major Tim.
Good morning, Major Sherman.
You're not leaving.
I'm afraid so.
Just as the auction's about to begin, you can't do that. It'll be exciting.
But no place for women and children.
You don't have to bid. Just cheer the others on. Oh, how about it, Abby?
You stay and represent the family.
That I will.
It's a wonderful cause, Major Sherman. I hope you raise a lot of money.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Jim.
Citizens of Aurora, I have here before me a specimen of ore from the Wide West Mine.
One of the richest and most beautiful specimens that this camp has ever produced.
Oh, we read all that in the papers.
Go ahead and start the auction. If any of you would like to step up here and examine this ore.
Heck, it's been an exhibition all week. Start the bidding.
Yeah, start it up.
Get going.
All right, my friends. For we are all friends today, remember that. We're neither Southerners nor Yankees, Republicans or Democrats. We're simply human beings united in a common cause, the relief of human suffering. When you bid, remember your money is going to an organization that knows no race, creed, nor politics. It ministers to the boys in blue and the boys in gray. God have mercy on them.
All right, folks, let's go. What am I bid for this fine specimen of ore?
$10.
20.
25. 50. $100. $100. Do I hear more?
125.
$150.
Another county heard from.
$200. $200. Not a fraction of what it's worth. Why, this specimen weighs at least $250. $300. $300. Now we're getting somewhere. The gentleman bids $300. Do I hear $350? $350. $400. $400. Why, the silver alone in this specimen would assay at
$500.
You took the words right out of my mouth, madam.
550.
600.
650.
$700. $700. Remember, every extra dollar goes for more blankets, more bandages, more medicine for our soldiers.
800. 825.
$850.
900.
925.
$925. Somebody make it 1,000. $1,000 for our boys on the battlefield, for our boys in the hospitals. You can't let them down.
$1,000.
$1,000. The gentleman bids $1,000. Any more bid? Going? Gone for $1,000 to Mr. John Marshall of Massachusetts. Hooray! Here you are, John.
Yeah, leave it where it is, sir.
But you own it.
Well, then I can auction it off again, can't I?
You mean you want me to go through?
No. I'll do the auctioneering this time. I bet you I can get more money out of this crowd than you did.
Here's $50. Says you can't.
Oh, taken. Okay, step aside, Major. All right, folks, now let's go. What am I offered for this handsome specimen of ore? Come on, let's begin with 100. Who'll give me $100?
$100.
Nice. Well, $100. That's
$200.
$200. That's the way to go. Come on, let's have another $100.
$300.
$300. Now you go. Come on, let's go. $400. $400. $450.
You gave them $1,000?
Well, you know how it is at an auction, dear. You get swept off your feet.
$1,000? John, that represents all our savings.
Yes, I know.
The money we've been putting by for Chip's education. To send him to school back east when he's old enough. We'd agreed, John. You'd promised.
I'll save more, Abby. There's plenty of time.
You had no right.
At least it was in a good cause.
You think the sanitary fund is more important than your son's education?
Darling, Chip is only 5 years old.
Oh, I can't wait till the time comes for him to go back to civilization. Attend a good New England school.
Abby, there's a war on. Men are suffering, disabled.
Oh, right. Give. But give in proportion to what you've got. Not everything you own. There's no sense in impoverishing ourselves just because you were carried away by emotion.
I'm sorry.
I suppose the ore is worth something.
I haven't got the ore.
You haven't? What happened to it?
Well, I turned it back to be auctioned off again. And the next fella did the same thing, and the next. Abby, we raised over $11,000 altogether.
Where is the ore now?
Major Sherman took it back to the office with him.
Well, the least he can do is to give it to you.
Oh, Abby.
Well, you were the first to win it.
So what?
Well, if you'd kept it, they'd only raised $1,000 for the fund. As it is, they made 11 times as much. You're certainly entitled to the ore. Ask for it back.
I should say not.
Well, what's Major Sherman going to do with it now that it's served its purpose?
That's his business. Put it on display, I guess.
Well, if you were to go to him and explain how you overreached yourself bidding our entire savings, he'd understand, I'm sure. Well, the Major's a good friend of ours and fine in every way.
Abby, a man doesn't welch on a bargain. I pledged that $1,000.
Very well. If you won't ask him, I will.
Hello, Mrs. Marshall.
Hello, Tim.
If you're looking for Major Sherman, he's not here.
When will he be back?
Not for several months, I'm afraid.
Several months.
Yes, he took the noon stage for the East.
On business.
Oh, I had no idea.
Well, it was quite sudden. In fact, he just had time to write the story of the auction for this week's issue and forward the proceeds to the National Sanitary Commission. Have you heard we raised $11,000?
Yes. And what happened to the specimen of ore?
Oh, that. The major took it back east with him.
Back east?
In a carpet bag. Yes, ma'am, I guess to show him how rich we all are out here in Aurora.
Out of my way, Sonny, or I'll pick you up and sell you to the engines.
Giant powder cap. Is he? No, he's still alive. Doc's over in Bodie. I'll saddle up and go fetch him.
Chip. Chip!
Past the crisis. It looks like he's going to be all right.
Thank you, Doctor. I don't know what to say.
Now, you get some rest while he's still sleeping. You need it, both of you.
We can never thank you enough, Doctor.
Well, it was the good Lord that pulled him through. You thank him. I'll look in again in the morning.
If he hadn't lived, I'd never have forgiven myself.
Darling, don't say that.
You were right, Abby. This is no place to bring up a child. As soon as he's well, you're taking him back home to civilization.
John!
I'll send you some money.
You mean you're not coming with us?
Well, not for a while. Darling, where in the East have I got a chance to make a fortune as I have here? You go and take Chip with you. Your family will be more than glad to have you with them. You can put Chip in school in Plymouth.
Where I used to teach.
Sure. He'll be able to make friends with children like himself.
Go to the Congregational Church.
Where we were married.
Oh, John, you're so good. Forgive me for all the harsh things I said about the auction. It was mean and ungenerous of me.
They've all been forgotten long ago. Now, you have to get some rest, like the doctor said. Because you got weeks of nursing ahead of you before that boy is well enough to travel.
You were so young when we left home, you probably don't even remember Plymouth.
What does it look like?
Well, it's not just how it looks, it's what it is.
What it is?
Plymouth was the first white settlement in New England, where our forefathers landed.
Forefathers?
The Pilgrims. This book tells the whole story. They came from the Old World in a little sailing vessel called the Mayflower, looking for a country where they could be free. After 9 long, weary weeks at sea, they sighted land, America, and dropped anchor off a storm-lashed coast. It was just before Christmas in the year 1620. The rock on which they stepped ashore is known as Plymouth Rock, the threshold to a new continent and a new life. It was a hard life, lonely and dangerous. That first terrible winter, they buried nearly half their number. And yet, their faith in God never faltered. And when the Mayflower set sail again for England and they had a chance to go back, there wasn't one soul who left. That's the kind of people our ancestors were, willing to brave a wilderness for the things they believed in. You wonder I'm proud of our heritage?
Is Plymouth Rock still there?
Yes, it nearly disappeared under the sands at one time, but they rescued it. You'll see it when we get back home.
I can hardly wait.
Neither can I. So you hurry up now and get well. Chip, settle down now.
Why does the stage come, Mama?
Yeah. It is a little late.
Hello, Plug.
Howdy, Chip. How are you?
We're going back home on the stage.
I'll be glad it ain't in a candle box.
What's a candle box?
It's what they ship miners' remains in
Remains?
after they fool with giant powder. So long, fella. Ma'am?
He's nice.
Yes, for a rough man, he's... Oh, they've all been nice. Oh, John, I wish that... I can't imagine what's keeping that stage.
You, have your tickets all right?
In my reticule.
And your money?
You won't forget to write?
Don't you forget either.
Here comes the stage!
Oh, dearest, I wish you were coming with us. I don't like leaving you here alone.
No, don't worry about me. I'm going to be all right.
You will join us before too terribly long. Major Sherman.
My dear Mrs. Marshall.
Welcome back to Aurora, Major. Hello, Major.
Hiya, Tim.
Glad to see you.
I've been looking forward to seeing you. I've just visited your old hometown.
Plymouth?
Brought you news of all your friends.
Well, as a matter of fact,
Let's get on the stage, Mama.
The stage won't be leaving for a while, Chip.
It won't?
We had an accident to the rear axle, this side of Bodie. It'll take time to mend it.
Well, how long?
Several hours, the driver said.
Oh, gee.
Well, in that case, we might as well go back to the house and wait.
Will you come with us, Major? I'm eager to hear about your visit to Plymouth.
I could even supply a drink.
Well, thanks. I'll see you at the office later, Tim.
Yes, sir.
When I left Plymouth, I presented the specimen of ore to my host, Mr. Davis. You remember Mr. Davis?
Of course, head of the Pilgrim Society, an old neighbor.
And in return, he gave me this. A fragment of Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock?
What you were telling me about, Mama?
It was chipped off accidentally back in 1700 when they were bringing the rock into view again from under the sand.
And they let you have it.
As a symbol from one group of pioneers to another.
It sort of sends tingles up my spine.
Can I touch it? The rock the Pilgrims landed on. Maybe they stepped right on this very piece.
Maybe they did, Chip.
And what are you going to do with it?
Put it in the safest place I can think of, where it'll be preserved for future generations of Nevadans. I'm going to have it cemented in the wall of our new courthouse. And I want you, my dear, to have a hand in the ceremony.
Me?
as a descendant of the Mayflower Pilgrims, and the only person in Aurora who comes from Plymouth.
I do too. Can I have a hand?
Forget, son, you're leaving.
Oh, it'll be a few days. The early part of next week, probably, before we hold the ceremony.
You'll be back by then, won't you? Where are you going? Sacramento?
Well, I was going much farther than that, but for this, I'll wait.
Into the walls of this courthouse, dedicated to justice and liberty, the ideals for which our forefathers strove most, we place this piece of Plymouth Rock, the symbol of that undying spirit which carries man forever forward to carve his destiny on new frontiers.
John, I'm so glad.
That your ancestors came over on the Mayflower?
And to be a citizen of Aurora. I've only just begun to realize we're pioneers too, helping to make the history of America. May our children be as proud of us as we are of those who have gone before.
And of course she stayed. But I'm willing to bet that there isn't a history book in the country that tells this true story of the exchange, back there in 1864, of a piece of Nevada gold ore for a piece of historic Plymouth Rock. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West. One of the greatest trailblazers in Western history had a blue face and weighed 1,400 pounds. He was rancher Charlie Goodnight's lead steer on the annual drives from Texas up to Wyoming grazing lands. His name, like the name of my story, was Old Blue. It is the year 1878 along the Goodnight Cattle Trail near Fort Sumner, New Mexico.
Well, there she is, Chimney Rock. Fort Sumner's just a spit from here.
Yeah, we're 3 days ahead of time, just like I figured.
Thanks to Old Blue, that steer's worth 4 top hands on a drive.
Charlie, you make it sound like my ramrod in the drive had nothing to do with it.
Oh, don't get your hackles up, Snell. As trail bosses come, I don't know any better. It's just that Old Blue sets the pace and the herd follows the bell. Well, bed down this side of the river, same as usual. I'll see you in town. I gotta collect some bets on getting here early. Yeah!
this it, Paul?
This is it. This here's rich dirt. Just a aching to grab seed and take root. I'm gonna give it the chance.
You mean we're through being rawhiders, Paul?
That's right, John Wesley. We're through following them trail herds, picking up the hides of dead cows that fall by the way. From here on, the only wandering you'll do is in books, just like I pledged your ma. So prod that mule, boy. Lead out for the Fort Sumner schoolhouse. And you, Bella, you curry down, gown up like Christmas prayer meeting.
Now, I want John Wesley and Arabella here at 7 o'clock next Monday morning.
They'll be here.
Might be a good idea for you to come along, too.
Well, now, I just might get around to that one of these days. Thank you kindly, ma'am. Come on, kids.
Oh. Where are you staying?
Well, we're just trail camping for a while, ma'am, till we can find us a homestead.
Well, there's an old abandoned shack on river ground a few miles out of town. After my husband died, I gave up the idea of ranching. It's yours for the asking.
I'll pay you something on it, ma'am, as soon as I sell my hides in town.
No hurry. You go get settled. We'll worry about that later.
You know. That chair can stand some fixing. John Wesley, run fetch me some wangs.
You don't have to bother.
Oh, it ain't no bother, ma'am. Working with rawhide's one thing I can do, and it's sure pleasure me to fix it for you.
Hold on, boy. You must be one of them sneaking rawhiders been trailing us all the way up from Concho. You tell your pa nobody picks up the Goodnight Outfit's leavings without paying Red Snow.
Don't have to pay for hides off of dead cows nobody wants except coyotes and us. Now, I'll thank you to give back them wangs.
You're pretty big for your britches, ain't you? Here.
Don't try it, mister.
Drop it. You hurting to tree a rawhider? Try for a man your size.
Why should I dirty my hands? I better not find you with any Goodnight property. If I do, it'll be a bullwhip for your boy. And a rope for you.
Keep him covered, son.
No, Paul. That teacher got eyes just like Mama's.
Blues, Tennessee mountain mist.
What you thinking, Paul?
I'm thinking you better hush up and snuggle down. Now, get to bed with you. Go along.
Can I have a pet, Pa?
Any kind of pet you want, little button. Morning, daybreak. I'm gonna go to town. I'm gonna sell them cow skins for what I can get.
I'm gonna start planting for a good harvest.
I'm gonna keep house.
I'm gonna hunt game for us. There's fresh tracks all around.
Billy be dogged. We ain't gonna have us a real ranch here.
What'd you do with old Blue?
What?
Don't smart me, Rawhide. Where's our bell steer with the blue face?
I ain't seen no blue-faced steer.
Now, hold on. Cloud, take a look in this wagon.
I gotta sell them hides for a grub stake.
You ain't gonna live that long if you skinned old Blue.
It ain't here, Snell.
I told you I ain't got him.
You mean you ain't skinned him? Not yet. Where you got him hid? You speak up before I carve my brand in your lying face.
On it, Snell! Penniless.
Rawhide has got old Blue.
That's a lie. I ain't never laid eyes on the critter.
Turn him loose.
Put that wagon back to rights.
Don't get any wrong ideas. I don't cotton to no rawhiders. Or lawless trail outfits either.
If I catch you anywhere near old Blue, I'm personally gonna hang you. Let's go.
You bring me some rifle powder, Paul?
Yep. Brought a glass mirror for Bella. Where is she?
Down by the creek, fetching greens. Ought to be back pretty soon. What's wrong, Paul?
Hush. Land of Goshen.
Pa! Looky, Pa, I found me a pet. And nobody had a pet like him. Ever see such a pretty blue face?
Yeah, go on, shoot. Yeah, go on. Go on. That's Charlie Goodnight's lead steer. His trail boss catches me with him, and he'll hang me for a rustler.
But we didn't steal him, Pa. I found him with his legs stuck in some rocks, and he follows me every place I go.
You just try for a chance to explain that. John Wesley, keep an eye out for them cowboys till I figure out how to get rid of him.
Couldn't we hide him somewheres, Pa? Somewheres where they wouldn't think of looking. Like in the wagon, maybe.
Riders coming over the ridge, Paul. Headed this way. They're coming, Paul.
Steady down, boy. Keep eating and act natural.
This is a real peaceful scene, isn't it? You'd think they never heard of a blue-faced steer, wouldn't you?
Ain't you found him yet?
No, not yet, but something tells me he ain't far away. You boys fan out. Take a look through the brush. Of course, now the three of us know that they ain't gonna find nothing out in that brush, don't we? Rawhiders are too smart for that. Thank you, boy. Hey, if somebody want to save me some time, just happen to know where Old Blue was, I could sure make it worth their while.
Meaning?
Meaning $100 worth. You want to say something, boy? I see. Guess you both heard about that $1,000 reward Charlie Goodnight's offered to the man who brings him here. Let me tell you something, Rawhide. You ain't gonna collect that reward because me and my boys are gonna be guarding the roads into town. Now, does that $100 reward of mine sound a mite bigger?
Not a trace of Old Blue.
There's one place we ain't looked yet.
Now, hold on.
I'm gonna be watching the roads for you, Rawhide. With the rope.
$100, Paul? Enough for plow and planting seed? You should have took it.
He'd never give it, boy. You seen what he done for nothing? What do you think he'd do for $100? Reward's 1,000. He wants to keep it all.
They gone, Paul?
And they busted your mirror.
I don't care. They ain't got Old Blue.
Seems like everything I try to do for you gets busted.
We got a home, Pa. You ain't busted that.
I won't be at home very long with that steer.
Mr. Goodnight appears to be a fair-minded man, Paul. If we could get that steer to him and explain...
There's only one trail to town, boy. Red Snell's a-spraddle it, waiting for me.
Unless he wasn't there when you came through.
Gonna be daylight before long.
Yeah.
What makes you so bulldog stubborn he's got Old Blue?
One thing, the way his boy acted. Another, a missing steer and a rawhide just plain go together. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's coming from over there. Mount up! Don't move.
Give me that bell. Hey, Snell!
Where's Old Blue? Might as well speak up, son. This bell's enough to hang a thief and Paul anyway.
He ain't a thief.
Where is Old Blue?
Paul's taking him over to Mr. Goodnight.
tricked us, huh? So he could sneak for town.
It'll be light soon. We can catch him.
Let's go.
Paul, Ryder's coming.
Well, come on. Caught you red-handed, huh? Just like I said.
I want to talk to Mr. Goodnight.
You ain't gonna talk to nobody. Tie his hands.
You're leaving me.
Go on, girl.
Where's my boy?
Mister, you better stop worrying about your boy and start praying about yourself.
You can't hang me.
Yeah, we? Stick around and find out. Cloud, bring your horse.
Yeah.
That ought to do it. Let's get him on the horse.
You're hanging an innocent man.
Innocent? Looked real innocent moving down the road with old Blue.
You leave him be!
Let's get him on the horse.
I never stole that steer. If you let me talk to Mr. Goodnight, I can explain everything.
Jed. Hey. I want the pleasure of swatting the horse out from under this cow thief myself.
I think this has gone far enough. Drop your guns.
Now, ma'am.
Drop your guns.
Ma'am, this rawhide deserves hanging.
Maybe, but it won't be on your orders. Now take that rope off his neck.
Do what she says.
Help him down. All right, now, let's take that steer and all of us go to the hotel and see Mr. Goodnight. Come on. Hurry it up. Go on. All of you. Go on.
Charlie.
Kind of jumping the gun, ain't you, Snell?
I caught him with old Blue. Ain't wrestling still a hanging offense?
The little girl says she found the steer with his leg caught and he followed her home.
Charlie, you know Rawhide is better than that. First thing they teach their kids is how to lie.
I ain't lying.
That's a true fact, Mr. Goodnight. That critter follows her around like a hound dog.
Old Blue's a leader. He never followed nothing. Least of all a rawhide tadpole. Charlie, we're wasting time.
Better to waste time now than wish we had wasted it later on. Your little girl telling the truth?
I'll stake my life on it.
You're going to do just that. Youngster, run over there at the stage depot.
Do like the man says, Button.
If old Blue goes after her, you go free. Turn the steer loose.
Come on, old Blue. Old Blue, you hear me? Please come, old Blue. Please come.
He sure does follow her, don't he?
Sorry, mister. Take him down, turn him over to the sheriff.
Hold on, Charlie. Are we going to hang him?
If he deserves hanging, the law will take care of it.
I'll be close by, Paul.
That'll be comfort to me, boy.
No, Paul, no, they can't take you, they can't.
No, little Buttons. None of that. You stand up real proud. That's better.
I'll look after them, Mr. Wilkes.
Take the steer back to the herd and get ready to hit the trail.
Come along, honey.
No, no, Bob!
Arabella!
You see, he does follow me.
He sure does, honey. Untie him. There's $1,000 reward. I hope it'll make up for the trouble you've been through.
$1,000. I'm going to ask you to mind it for us, ma'am, till we learn to count that high.
It wasn't long before Jethro did learn to count. But Helen continued to take care of his money, as Mrs. Wilkes. Old Blue, he went back to leading trail herds until finally retired on Charlie Goodnight's ranch.
আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না কি কইতেছেন আপনি কি কইতেছেন গায়ে হাত দিবেন কেন গায়ে দিও এ বড় গায়ে দিলে কি করবে একদম গায়ে করতেছেন তুই তুই করতেছিস তুই গায়ে তুই আমি আজকে শেষ কর তুই টাকা দে আমার টাকা দে ওরে আজকে বই
না কোন রাস্তার মধ্যে আইছেন ভাই
এই এই আপনি কারে করছেন হ্যাঁ আরে ভাই আপনারে কই নাই আমার কল দিছিলাম এই কল রিসিভ করতেছ না ওরে কইছি আমারে কোন মানে এই আপনি নামেন তো নামেন আমি যাব না আপনি কি কইতেছেন হ্যাঁ আপনি যাবেন না কেন না আমি যাব না আপনি আপনি নামেন আমার টাকা দেন আমি যাইগা দেমু না টাকা আমারে না নিয়ে গেলে আমি ভাড়া দেবো না আরে আপনি কখন থেকে এই অলি করতেছেন আপনার আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না একদমই সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না আপনি টাকা দেন আমি জায়গা আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না কি কইতেছেন আপনি কি কইতেছেন গায়ে হাত দিবেন কেন গায়ে দিও এ বড় গায়ে দিলে কি করবে একদম গায়ে করতেছেন তুই তুই গায়ে তুই আমি আজকে শেষ কর তুই টাকা দে আমার টাকা দে ওরে আজকে বই মোটরসাইকেল করে নিয়ে যেতেছেন ভাই এটা আমার মালিকের মোটরসাইকেল ভাই মোটরসাইকেল নিয়ে যান না
গাড়ি থামলো কেন?
স্যার একটা অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট হয়েছে।
ভাই ভাই আমার একটু বাঁচান
স্যার
ভাই।
পেটে তো ছুরি।
মনে হচ্ছে চিনতে কে?
স্যার হসপিটালে নিয়ে যাব?
আরে পাগল হইছো, এত রাতে থানা পুলিশের ঝামেলা কে যাবে? চালাও গাড়ি।
স্যার কি অবস্থা, মনে হয় না বাবু।
ভাই যাই না ভাই। ও ভাই আমার একটু হসপিটাল।
আচ্ছা আপনি ওই দিন আপনার আম্মার সামনে আমার লগে এরকম ব্যবহার করছেন কেন?
আমার ইচ্ছে হয়েছে আমি করছি, আর আমার পিছে ঘুরে লাভ নেই।
কেন? আমি আপনার ভালোবাসি না, করবো না কেন?
এ হায়া মেয়ে রে বাবা, তোমার তো আমি ক্লিয়ার করে বলছি যে আমি তোমার বিয়ে করব না।
আরে আপনার আম্মাই তো আমার পছন্দ করছো, তো আপনি শাদি করবেন না কেন?
তাহলে তারই বিয়েটা করো।
জি জি জি, আস্তাগফিরুল্লাহ, কি কইতাছেন? আমি আপনার আম্মার কেন শাদি করব? তো আপনারা শাদি করুন, আর আপনি যদি আমার শাদি না করছেন তাহলে কয়ে দিলাম ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম আমার হাতে লিখুন।
তোমার যা ইচ্ছা তুমি তাই করো, আমি একদমই ভয় পাই। আগের বার মাইনে নিছি, খেলা ছিল দেখা, এটা খেলা না, এটা আমার জীবন। আমি জীবন নিয়ে ছেলে খেলা করতে পারবো না।
আমি হাঁচা হাঁচা কইতেছি, আমি কিন্তু ব্লেড দিয়ে
হাতে পায়ে গলায় মুখে সব জায়গায় যেখানে ইচ্ছা সেখানে লেখো, ইংরেজি বাংলা ফার্সি যেটাতে পারো সেটাতেই লেখো, আমার কিচ্ছু যায় আসে না।
আপনার আমি শেষবারের মতো কইতেছি, আপনার আর বেশি সময় দিব না, শুধুমাত্র 12 ঘন্টা সময় দিলাম। এই 12 ঘন্টার মধ্যে আপনি আপনার মত বদলাইবেন, নাহলে কইলাম আমি হাঁচায় ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম লিখে ফেলাম, আমার কেউ আটকাইতে পারবো না।
আরামসে তুমি সিগারেট টানো, বুঝে নাই শান্তিতে, আর ওদিক দিয়ে কাম সারছে।
কেন কি হইছে?
আরে শুনোস না, ওই মেয়ে তো ডেঞ্জারাস একটা ঘটনা ঘটায় ফেলছে। লেট দিয়ে হাত কাটছে, এখন কি হইব মামা?
ওই মেয়েটা
বস কি মামা? কস হাত
কেন? ওই মেয়ের তোর কোনো কথা হয়েছিল?
কালকে রাত্রেবেলা বাসার সামনে এসে দাঁড়ায় ছিল, আমার 12 ঘন্টার আলটিমেটাম দিছে।
এই কিসের আলটিমেটাম দিছে রে? হ্যাঁ
আরে ওই বিয়াতে রাজি না হইলে কি জানি।
এই কথা তুই আগে কবি না।
আরে আমি কি বুঝছি নাকি?
আরে না বাবার কি আছে, বুঝোস না, মেয়ে তো একটা ডেঞ্জারাস। এখন যদি কিছু হয়ে যায় মামা, আমাকে তো পুলিশে ধরে নিয়ে যাবে।
কেন আমি কি করছি?
ও আমি কি করছি কিছু জানো না? ওই বেটা আইনার মারপে জানো, জীবনে তো থানায় তুই যাস্তে জানবি কেন? থানায় আমি গেছি জানি। ফোন যে কোনো হলে আত্মহত্যা প্ররোচনকারী যেই হোক না, তার নাম যদি একবার থানায় গিয়ে কয় মামা, তাহলে তার খবর আছে। এখন তুই কি করবি তুই চিন্তা করে দেখ।
কি করছে সব? এই লাইলি বাইচা আছে তো?
হ্যাঁ শুনলাম ও তো বাইচা আছে।
কোন হসপিটাল আছে কো, আমি যাই একটু দেখা করে আসি।
হসপিটালে যাই দেখা করে, হসপিটাল থাকলে এতক্ষণ তুমি চৈত শিকার ভিত্তি থাকলা, বুঝে নাই? আর তুমি যাই হয়তো বাসায় আছে। এই তুই কি ওর বাসায় যাবি?
তুই যাবি মামা?
হায় রে খোদা, তুমি আইছো, আমি জানতাম তুমি আইবা। আমি লাইলে রে কইছি তুমি আসবা। চ্যাংরা হও আর রক্ত গরম হও, মানুষ তো, তোমার মনের ভিতরে সেই প্রেমটা আছে।
আচ্ছা আমি লাইলির সাথে একটু দেখা করবো।
লাইলির সাথে দেখা করবা?
কেমন আছে ও?
আছে বাবা, আসো আসো, তোমার আমি একটু দেখা করতে আসো।
এইসব কি?
প্লেট দিয়ে তোমার নাম লিখছি, বানান ঠিক আছে?
একদম ঠিক আছে। কিন্তু কি বলো বাইক না, ভালো হয়েছে না? আমি কিন্তু লাইলিতে কইছিলাম যে লাইলি ছবি তুইলা ওরা পাঠাই দে। হয় কইছে যে না, কিছু জিনিস আছে এগুলো ছবি তুলে পাঠালে সঠিকভাবে দেখা যায় না, সামনাসামনি দেখতে হয়। এর লেগে তো এতক্ষণ ধরে তোমার জন্য অপেক্ষা করতেছি।
এইসব পাগলামির কোনো মানে আছে?
আছে না, তোমার আমি শাদি করব, তুমি আমার শাদি করবা, করবা না?
এই তুমি কি আমার বলদ পাইছো? বলদ এই পাশে দাঁড়ানো লোকটার মতো।
নিলে তুমি আমার মামার নিয়ে কি করতেছো?
আমি বলবো তুমি শুনবা। মানে এই যদি তোমার হাত কাটার নমুনা হয়, হ্যাঁ, আমি জানলে আমি জীবনেও আসতাম না। আর যদি হাত সত্যি সত্যি কাটতাও তাও আসতাম না, কোনো লাভই হতো না। আমি তোমারে বিয়ে করব না। তোমার মতো মেয়ের সাথে শুধুমাত্র মজা নেওয়া যায়, বাড়ির বউ করা যায় না। তোমার মধ্যে ওই রকম কোনো এলিমেন্টই নাই।
তুমি একটু বেশি বেশি করতেছো না?
এই মাঝখান দিয়ে ঢুকে গেলেন, হ্যাঁ? সাদে কি আপনার মানুষে হাবলু কয়? এর লেগে আপনার হাবলু কয়। আর ঢুকছেন যখন, তখন আমারে না বুঝায় আপনার এই ড্রামাবাজ ভাগ্নিরা বুঝান। আমি ওরে বিয়ে করবো না, আমি মরে গেলে ওরে বিয়ে করবো না। মানে নিজের তো কোনো মান সম্মান নাই, পরিবারের মান সম্মানটা যদি খোয়াইতে না চাও তাহলে এইসব বন্ধ করো। সবার সামনে অপমান করবো না।
থাক ভাগ্নি, তুই কষ্ট পাইস না। হয় তোরা বুঝতে পারে নাই, আর যেদিন বুঝতে পারবো, হয় কান্দা বুক চাপলাইব, তখন বুঝবো যে কি জিনিস হারাইছি। তুই কান্দিস না ভাগ্নি, একদম কান্দিস না। তুই থাক, আমি আইতাছি, দেখতেছি।